Press record on the video here. I'm just using my straight up like camera from my phone. What's the upgrade from doing the camera on the phone versus that Filmatic program you told me about?
Oh, Filmic?
Yeah.
Filmic, really slightly higher quality in terms of compression. A lot more fine-tuned controls. But I think the most interesting thing about it is it just there's like a circle and a square on there. And so you can move it and say, okay, this is where to check for exposure. This is where to check for focus.
You know what? Let's just talk about that. Let's start the show. Let's talk about how to produce content from your bedroom. For
Okay,
that's stuck
I like
home.
that.
Yeah, all right. Okay, hey everybody. This is Chase and Kurt. This is the first episode of Unprepared. Literally didn't have a topic until 2 seconds ago. So today we're going to talk about how to produce content in your house. I'm literally in my bedroom. It's a huge bedroom. So this side of it is my office. Kurt has a home office that he stole from his wife. Lucky him. But yeah, let's talk about producing content today.
Sure. So what is so amazing right now is we're all trapped in our houses, right? If you're lucky enough to be, an entrepreneur and in a position where you could start creating content at home to build an audience, that seems to be the magic, right? Because everyone is isolated. We're all together alone, right? And I think at the same time, we pretty much all own smartphones. We all own tablets. Many people own a digital camera. Or a gaming headset, you probably have more equipment, like AV equipment, than you realize to produce great quality stuff in your house.
Absolutely. So I'll let everyone know my setup. I've got my podcasting stuff, which is just an SM58. I think it's $80. You can find them used when you can leave your house.
SM58. Yeah, I got a pair of them. Hold up, wait, where? Yes.
Yeah, dude, you can hammer a nail in with that thing. We back in the touring days, they were insane. Very, very well done. Anyway, so I have that for the podcast, but you actually don't need it. iPads have some pretty decent quality. Not iPads, but AirPods have a decent quality microphone.
I was the first week of the Today Show. Al Roker recording from home. My wife and toddler busted in on me. Yeah. Oh, they stole the mini ears. Nice. Al Roker's recording from home, and you could tell it was probably an iPhone and AirPods. That was his setup for a major network television show. So if Al Roker gets away with that, guess what? So do you.
Yeah, and then honestly, if you have the luxury of having like two devices in your house, i.e. like if you have two iPhones, the iPhone audio is actually insanely good, and you can just like do a voice memo near you to get better audio, and then like just sync it up with your iPhone. Anyways, I'm recording in selfie mode on my iPhone right now. That's this video camera for me, and we're making it happen.
So I grabbed a Micro Four Thirds camera. And I have it on this like cheap ancient tripod I bought at Best Buy probably 12 years ago, and it's great. And this Micro Four Thirds camera, it's a Panasonic Lumix. I bought it about 6 weeks ago on eBay, and I paid $200 for it. Which, all right, so I had to spend some cash on it, but the quality's pretty good. But all right, get this. So for my show, I interviewed a guy who does. He was formerly a high school teacher who taught film, and they needed access for everybody to have cameras. And so they started using mobile devices, and he turned this into an entire business called iOgrapher. He's got a lot of great content you could check out for like making amazing video just using an iPad or an iPhone at iOgrapher. There's a free plug for him. There we go. And sorry, I'm going to abuse some sound effects here today. But he turned me onto this app. So if you've already got the phone, you could spend $10 on this app called Filmic Pro. And let's say you've got multiple devices. This is where this thing gets really cool. You can have, and let's say you've got a tablet, and I don't own a tablet, but we've got two tablets for the kids. So I could steal those. I could steal my wife's phone. I got my phone, and I got an old phone. Okay, that means I now have a 5-camera setup. You put Filmic Pro on all of them. Not that you would use a 5-camera setup, but you put Filmic Pro on everything, and then on one of the tablets, it lets you see all your camera views at once, and you could like live edit like the same way you would record sports. But this is all with the stuff you probably already, maybe if you have kids, kids already have in your house with all these multiple devices.
Mhm.
So it's kind of it's interesting. I think we all kind of got turned into a little bit of a MacGyver situation. It's been interesting to see people's home office setups. Like, all right, everyone's using Zoom now. So
Oh, yeah.
how do you get better Zoom quality? Well, stack your laptop up so you get that webcam so it's like right over your head.
Yeah,
You don't want that thing where everybody's looking up your nose.
That's
Like I
that's
saw
an
an
old
interview-
school like photography. They teach you that in photography class. It's essentially you want to take any portrait, or if you want something good, you want it like you want the camera lens to be like in the middle of the forehead, because then it gets rid of that sexy underchin stuff.
And I just don't want to be looking up people's nose. But yes, angles are very important. Lighting is important. Here, you want the easiest trick in the world. Put a white piece of paper on the desk in front of you. It'll help create a bounce and fill light. I have not done this, but the other day, for a while, I had aluminum foil on my desk as an attempt to build a reflector.
Yeah.
So I should grab a piece of paper.
I've got a big overhead book light that I should use for reading, but it's like bouncing off the wall. So doing that, if you like can bounce a light off a wall, that creates a way bigger light source, which is more like a window style, like big light source. You don't want small light sources because then they're like harsh shadows.
Yes, I did this for my wife over the weekend. She had an idea for a video, and it was in our basement, which does like a basement naturally does not have the best lighting. So I grabbed this halogen work light out of my garage, and then I just aimed it at the wall opposite her, and then that way the wall itself becomes your light.
Mhm.
So you end up with this very big, huge, soft light source then. But it's just a work light I had.
Absolutely. So let's like break this down to some real key takeaways before I let you go today. So first and foremost, just use what you got, right? You got to put
Look
content
around.
out.
Anything that has a camera or can record video or audio, you can use. So you could do some clever multi-camera setups. Like I did a DSLR, my phone, and this little point and shoot camera. I used all three of those to record a 10-minute cooking video in our kitchen, and then just edited that together myself in iMovie, which is, if you're on a Mac, iMovie is free.
Absolutely, yeah. I love iMovie. Now I'm like just confusing myself with Premiere.
I could not wrap my head around Premiere, though never a better time to watch some YouTube videos and figure it out.
Yeah.
But if you master iMovie and you feel limited, you could move up to Final Cut. Now, it's $300, which is pricey. Like took me a long time to get comfortable with paying $300 for it, but really good in that it's very similar to iMovie, but with a whole bunch of pro features. It's like prosumer. It's between iMovie and Premiere.
Absolutely. All right, so use what you got, and then the next thing is, this is probably one of the bigger ones, which is film from above your eyes. That's gonna make a way better look, a way better shot for any of your stuff, any of your like takes of your cameras. That's why this thing's on a tripod behind my computer. If you wanna see my actual setup, I put it on Twitter just a few minutes ago, and it's pretty hilarious. And then the last takeaway I think was, if you can afford it, that Filmic app is pretty dope.
Filmic Pro, yeah, that's really, really sweet. Just you're still recording on your phone, but you get a little better quality and a lot more granular controls on it. So much more like filming with a traditional video camera. And then last point is the lighting. Oh my gosh, look for every light source you got. But let's say you just have one. Let's say it's just a light, and it's for your Zoom videos. I mean, that's like most of the video we're doing now. So you've got your camera above your eyes. All right, nailed it. Then the light source, put it behind and just to one side of that webcam. And that's what I got going on right now. And then plus I got the light from the window. That helps. And then put like a white t-shirt or a white piece of paper on the desk in front of you to try and get a little bit of fill light in here.
Absolutely. And you know what? I think there's actually one thing we glossed over that is more important than all of this, which is just get started.
Oh my God, just do it. There's never been a better time to create content and experiment, especially if you're thinking you got the free time or you're bored, or like my wife runs a travel blog. Well, oh man, traffic's not a lot of people planning vacations right now. So yeah, that sucks. But for her, she also thought, all right, this is a good time to start experimenting with formats and content and ideas. So like we made for her travel show, or for her travel vlogs, we made a cooking video in our kitchen. And you know what? That was also our date night. It was a really fun thing to do together. So if you can involve your family and they want to do it, your housemates, it can be a good activity.
Oh, I think that's it. I mean, I've been trying to get back into video, and this was forcing me to do it. Every business is suffering right now, and I think that the thing that you can control is how much content you can put out. That's something that is 100% in your control. So just start creating.
Yes, and I think creating even personal content that's going to work across all channels right now. People want authenticity more than ever. So you've got, like you said, we've got Jimmy Fallon and Stephen Colbert are recording huge television shows out of their houses and getting interrupted by their dog and their kids. You can be authentic, it can be raw, it can be real, and it will be better for it.
Absolutely. I mean, that translates over to even how content works on Facebook advertising. Like, the more authentic it is, usually the better return you see.
Oh yeah, 100%. So then once you start building that content, that is going to pay dividends over the next year or longer, as you've got, the content naturally creates organic search for you. So you're going to be able to drive more traffic. You're going to get more impressions. People are going to get a better sense of who you are with authentic content. You're going to start creating personal connections with people. And man, like now more than ever, I am so excited just to get a phone call. I am energized. I'm an extrovert. This is hard. So I'm energized by being able to do video calls with people. And some of these tips to increase that quality certainly make things a lot more fun. Mm-hmm. But I don't think there's any wrong way right now to go about content creation, so long as it is empathetic, sensitive, and authentic.
Yeah.
Anything that falls in that, and you made like the slightest attempt at quality, you will get a pass on the quality. Just get out there and make it. Oh my gosh, just get started.
Oh, absolutely. And then I just want to reiterate the point you said on content paying dividends in this next year. I think that content is the best investment you can make with your personal time, because it's going to return forever. That piece of content's always out there. That piece of content's always going to be around. Whereas if you put that same energy into, or investment into, say, an ad, once that budget's gone, that traffic's gone.
You know what? 100%. You're absolutely right.
Awesome. Hey, Kurt, thank you so much for being the inaugural guest on not only this, but my podcast as well. If you like Kurt, go check out his podcast, the Unofficial Shopify Podcast. Kurt's, you can follow him on Twitter. He's got a great Facebook group as well, the Unofficial Shopify Facebook group. What else did I forget to talk about?
If you want to get in touch with me, Twitter is a good place to do it, at Kurt and KURTINC, or Google me. Go to kurtelster.com, sign up for my newsletter. Any of those emails come from my actual email address. So if you reply to it with a thoughtful question, I will send you a thoughtful answer.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Talk soon.